Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is Chapter 8 of Shattered Image, and this one is titled Curious But Afraid. Sero went to walk away, but then remembered that he needed his pencil case for the next class and turned back to his locker to get it. You waited for a split second longer and then walked past him to get to your locker, still feeling like you needed to apologise for your outburst and attitude earlier, and as you opened your locker you looked at him. He closed his locker and looked at you, the pair of you making eye contact for a second in the empty locker room before you looked back into your open locker. Should I apologise? You wondered, as you stood there with a scowl on your face. You heard his footsteps turn from his locker as he went to leave the locker room and head to homeroom, and you quickly turned your head to look at him. "Wait!" you called to him. He stopped and turned around to look at you. "Can you come here for a second?" you asked, still with a slight scowl on your face as you looked away. Curiously, he walked over to you and you reached into your pocket and pulled out your phone, holding it out to him. "Where's your phone? Let's exchange numbers," you said with a slightly embarrassed mumble. "Oh, yeah, okay," he said as he pulled his phone out of his pocket and held it out so that you could airdrop numbers to each other. Your phones dinged as numbers were swapped and you looked down at your phone in hand. "Okay, thanks," he said, turning as he put his phone in his pocket again. "Wait," you said again. "Sorry about before." "It's fine," he shrugged, looking over his shoulder at you. "Can I give you a jumper back now?" you asked. "No," he said with a shake of his head and a smile. "Keep it." And with that he turned away and headed off to class. You watched him go and let a huff of amusement out of your nose. "Idiot," you huffed as you turned back to your locker and got your things for class and then closed your locker and followed after him to the classroom, your steps feeling much lighter than before. That lunchtime you went and sat in your usual spot, wondering if Sero might come and talk to you, but he had been cornered by the boys who had noticed that he seemed to be the only one not scared of you, and some even wondered whose jumper it was that you were wearing. "Hey, bro, wait up!" Kaminari called to Sero as the tape quirk wielder headed down the hall, intending to see if you were at your usual hiding spot. "Sup?" Sero asked at the lightning blonde as he caught up to him. Hey, where are you going?" Kaminari asked. "Nowhere. Why?" Sero replied, not wanting to say that he was going to go and find you. "Oh, no reason," Kaminari replied with a sweat-dropped look on his face. Did you want to come with me? We're all having lunch together on the roof, and we haven't seen you around at lunch lately," he added. Sero smelled a bit of a rat, but decided to go and see what was up anyway, and so nodded and followed Kaminari off to the stairs that led to the roof. When he reached the top, it was clear there was some kind of intervention set up, since Karishima, Bakugo, Shoji, Tokuyami and Mineta were all there, and he sweat-dropped a little. "Oh, it's the whole gang," he joked. "Where's Midoriya and Iida?" "Sit down," Bakugo growled. "What's going on?" Sero asked as he took a seat next to Karishima, and the bubbly redhead gave him a pat on the back. "Hey, bro," he greeted happily. "Hey," Sero replied, looking around at the group. "Where is she?" Bakugo snarled at Sero. Who?" Sero asked. "Don't play dumb. I know you're close with her. What's her deal? She's trouble, right?" Bakugo asked. I don't know what you're talking about," Sero replied with a bit of hesitation. He had a feeling that they were meaning you, but he wasn't 100% sure, so he didn't want to put his foot in it by accident. We're asking about Yin," Karishima said with a smile. "Is that your jumper she's wearing?" Well," Sero stalled. "It is, isn't it?" Bakugo interrogated. "Bro, calm down," Kiri replied to him, then turned to Sero. "You're the only one in the class that's been able to get close to her," he added. Have you tried talking to her?" Sero asked. No," Kiri said sadly. "I'll admit, she's very cold, and I'm afraid she'll use her quirk on me, like she did to Bakugo. She doesn't seem very friendly." "Yeah, she's not friendly at all," Sero said with a sweat-dropped look. "We happen to live in the same direction as each other, so we bump into each other on the way to and from school. So I've spoken to her a few times, but she's not a very open person," he admitted. "Oh, is that it?" Kaminari said. "Yeah," Sero replied. He didn't want to go into detail about the background that you told him about. That was something that was not to share with the general public. "She doesn't mind you wearing a jumper?" Kaminari asked. She was cold one day, so I gave it to her," She's tried to give it back a few times, but I won't take it back. Sero admitted, I don't want her getting a cold, and my jumper is warm, so... Oh, okay, Kaminari said, buying his story immediately. But, Bakugo, what was it like when you got stuck inside her quirk? Sero asked, are there mirrors everywhere? How'd you know about that, Spider-Man knockoff? Bakugo asked, his beady eyes glowing into Sero's. You called her a mirror freak or something like that. Sero said quickly, so I assumed there were mirrors. Bakugo grunted. Oops, almost put my foot in that one. I don't want to out Kaminari or Yin. Sero thought with a sweat-dropped look on his face. Yeah, there's no way out. He growled angrily. I tried blasting the mirrors, but my quirk didn't work. Oh, so it even cancels quirks. Sero thought, how interesting. The person can't even activate the quirk in their minds. What of it? Bakugo snapped. No, I was just asking. Sero replied, no reason. The boys kept discussing different things about you, but Sero played dumb for the most part. He didn't want people to be getting information from him and then asking you about it, and then you finding out that it came from him and losing what little trust you had in him. Although he still felt like you had all your walls up, you had told him a tiny bit about yourself, so that was progress, he guessed. After school, you disappeared early. He was a little disappointed since he wanted to at least talk to you and tell you that Hanny was still on the warpath, but he didn't know how else to contact you. Oh, wait, I have a number now. He thought as he pulled his phone out and opened messages. Do I message her? Will she just leave me on red? Pausing for a second, he decided to just go for it and send you a message. Hey, have you left school already? He asked. He put his phone back in his pocket, expecting to not get a reply, but in 2 minutes you had replied to him, and he pulled his phone out with surprise. I'm at the back gate, waiting for you. You had sent. His heart leapt. She's waiting for me? He thought with surprise. Okay, coming. He replied, and he put his phone away, walking purposefully across the back oval towards the back gate. From the school window, Iida, who was doing after-school chores, saw him, watching as he met with you at the back gate of the school, and then you left together and followed the track out into the forest beyond. Students of the school should be entering the school via the front gate, with no exception, he thought as he pushed his glasses up onto his nose and then put the newly cleaned chalk dusters down on the blackboard rack and went to straighten the class chairs. We are proud to be UA students. We should all be entering the school from the front to show that we are heroes in training and know our worth in society. I'll have a word with both of them tomorrow, he thought as he finished up the classroom duties and then headed to his locker to get his bag and go home. On the walk in the forest, Sero explained to you how Hanny had been messaging him and how he had covered for you and they didn't know that you went to UA, and then how they had cornered him that morning and tried to talk him around to their side, painting you in a bad light. I'm glad that you told me about your past, so I wasn't surprised when they told me some stuff. At least I know the truth from your side, he said. Ugh, that bitch just says whatever she wants to, and then she thinks she can get her own way, he replied angrily. I'm pretty sure they know that I go to UA now. Hanny saw my school bag. Uh-oh, is Iida about to get quirked? We'll find out tomorrow. I'll see you then.